Hi all, I'm Dr. Sujya, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Application at Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. In Series 5, I'm going to discuss is about the ABI management use cases. Uh, API management use cases are the critical in managing the communication between services in microservice architecture. An API gateway is a core component acts as a single entry point for all API requests, handling tasks such as request routing, compositions, and protocol translation. Example: an e-commerce platform that consists of multiple microservices such as product catalog, order management, inventory, and shipping comes into play, and an API gateway receives information on the incoming client service, that is web or mobile app, and routes them to the appropriate microservices based on the requested functionality. The product catalog microservice exposes API for the retrieving product informations, which the API gateway composes with the data from the inventory microservice to provide a real-time stock availability. The order management microservice handles order placements and interacts with the shipping microservice to initiate delivery. Tools monitor the interactions between the microservice, tracking metrics like response time, error rates, and throughputs. This enables the identity of the performance bottleneck and potential issues. API monetizations and ecosystem development is by providing features for API productization, metering, and billing. Organizations can define different API plans with usage limits, pricing tiers, and access levels. Tools tracks API usage metrics and generate bill reports, enabling organizations to charge for API consumptions based on various models. And the platforms allows the weather data providers to define different API plans such as free tier with limited access and pay tiers with high usage limits and advanced features. Developers can sign up for the desired API plans through the developer portal, gaining access to the weather API based on their subscription level. And the solution track API usage for each developer generates usage reports and invoices based on the application price model. The developer portal is a central hub for developers to expose API documentation, test API with the interactive consoles, and access code samples as SDKs, forecasting the developer and development community. API security and access control implement robust authentication mechanisms such as Authentications 2.0 to secure access to API. Developers must obtain access tokens by providing valid credentials and scopes. And API requests are validated against these access tokens to ensure that only authenticated and authorized requests are proceed. Example: financial technology company that provides suites of API for developers to build applications related to personal finance management such as budget tracking, expense categorization, and financial goal settings. API management ensures the security and controlled access to these apps. And the platform implement authentications 2.0 to secure access to the API, and developer must obtain access tokens by providing valid credentials and scopes. An API request are validated against the provided access tokens, ensuring that only authenticated and authorized requests are processed, invalidated or expired tokens are rejected. And the solutions enables fine-grained access control based on the user roles and permissions. For example, certain APIs may be accessible only for premium subscribers or users with specific privileges. Usage policies such as rate limiting and throttling are enforced to prevent abuse and ensure fair usages of API. And by implementing stock authentication, access control, encryptions, and monitoring mechanism through API management, the fintech company can protect the API from unauthorized access, abuse, and potential security breaches, ensuring the security and integrity of API-driven systems. The key components of API management platforms are the API gateway. The API gateway performs several essential functions. First one is the request routing. Next one is the protocol translation, security enforcements, monitoring and logging. In request routing, the API gateway routes incoming requests to the appropriate backend services, and the protocol translation translates between protocols such as HTTP and HTTPs and WebSockets. And security enforcement enforces security policies such as authentication, authorizations, and rate limiting. Monitoring and logging, it captures the logging API request and response, providing visibilities into the API usage. An API developer portal is a web-based interface provided by an API management platform that serves as a central hub for the developers to discover, explore, and interact with the organization API. The key features and benefits of API Developers Protocol includes API discovery, interactive API consoles, API documentation, and self-service provisioning. API analytics, and the key aspects and benefits of API analytics includes usage tracking, performance monitoring, traffic analysis, billing and monetization, anomaly detections. As a conclusion, these components API Gateway, Developer Portal, API Analytic form a comprehensive API management platforms. These are enabled of an organization to securely expose API, engage developers, and gain valuable insights into API usage and performance, ultimately driving API adoption, innovations, and business values. Thank you.